Hello again and welcome back. In a video a few days ago, I promised to publish an explanatory video of an event in history called the Year of Four Emperors, which in part fulfills Jesus' prophecy in the Olivet Discourse, Matthew 24:6 and 7, Luke 21:9, and Mark 13:7. This period indeed provides a stark historical backdrop that aligns with the wars and rumors of wars and nation against nation that Jesus foretold would be part of the beginning of birth pangs leading up to the destruction of Jerusalem and the temple within this generation. The year 69 AD, known as the Year of Four Emperors, was a period of unprecedented internal turmoil and civil war within the Roman Empire following the suicide of Nero in AD 68. This power vacuum led to a rapid succession of four emperors, each supported by different legions and factions, plunging the empire into chaos. Galba, who reigned from June 68 to January 69, was the elderly governor of Hispania and was proclaimed emperor, but quickly alienated key legions in the Praetorian Guard due to his austerity and perceived arrogance. Otho reigned from January to April 69. He was a former companion of Nero and was proclaimed emperor by the Praetorian Guard, who murdered Galba. He faced immediate opposition from Vitellius. Vitellius reigned April to December 69. He was the commander of the legions in Germania and was proclaimed emperor by his troops. His forces marched on Italy, defeated Otho's army in the first battle of Bedriacum, leading to Otho to commit suicide. Vespasian, who reigned July 69 AD and onwards, was the general commanding the Roman forces in Judea. Vespasian was acclaimed emperor by his legions in the east. His armies, led by Mucianus and Antonius Primus, marched on Italy, defeated Vitellius's forces in the second battle of Bedriacum, and eventually stormed Rome. Vitellius was captured and then killed. Vespasian would go on to establish the Flavian dynasty. Now, this indeed truly was a year of widespread civil war. And unlike previous internal conflicts, this was not confined to a single rebellious province, but involved major Roman legions from various parts of the empire, from Gaul, Germania, Spain, Africa, and the East. They marched against each other, resulting in destruction and great loss of life. Italy in particular suffered greatly as the battleground for these legions. Cities were ravaged, infrastructure damaged, and countless soldiers and civilians perished. Rome itself was besieged and fought over, the Capitol building famously being burned during the fighting between Vitellius and Vespasian's forces. The constant change of emperors and the fighting among the Roman legions led to a significant breakdown of central authority, inspiring other rebellions such as the Batavian Revolt in Germania, which exploited Rome's internal weakness. Trade routes were disrupted, taxes were irregularly collected, and the overall economy suffered from the instability in military expenditures. The sight of Roman legions fighting Roman legions and the constant fear of changing allegiances and new power struggles created a deep sense of insecurity and despair across the entire empire. This period shattered the illusion of Roman invincibility and internal unity. The Jewish revolt against Rome had already begun in 66 AD, 3 years before the Year of the Four Emperors. Vespasian had been specifically dispatched by Nero to suppress the rebellion. The internal Roman chaos initially created a strange kind of temporary reprieve for the Jewish rebels, with Vespasian and his legions preoccupied with the struggle for the imperial throne. The full might of Rome's military machine was diverted from Judea. Now, this might have seemed like a miraculous intervention to some Jewish factions. However, this delay proved to be a double-edged sword. Instead of uniting against the common Roman enemy, the different Jewish factions within Jerusalem, for example, the Zealots and the Sicarii, as well as other groups, they fell into bitter and violent infighting. They destroyed each other's food supplies, they assassinated leaders, and weakened the city's defenses from within, believing God would deliver them regardless. Josephus, the Jewish historian, vividly describes this mutually destructive warfare. Now, once Vespasian secured the imperial throne in late 69 AD, he delegated the command of the Roman forces in Judea to his son Titus. With the Roman Empire reunified under Vespasian, the legions were free to focus their full, unhindered might on the Jewish revolt. This led to the relentless and devastating siege of Jerusalem in 70 AD, culminating in the destruction of the city and its temple exactly as Jesus had foretold. The events of 69 AD perfectly illustrate and contribute to Jesus' prophecy regarding wars and rumors of wars. The civil wars across the Roman Empire were not mere rumors, but actual widespread conflicts. The constant shifts in power, the battles, and the uncertainty created an atmosphere saturated with both actual warfare and the rumors of where the next conflict would erupt or who the next emperor would be. While primarily a civil war among the Romans, the various legions often comprised soldiers from different other nations or provinces fighting for their chosen leader. More significantly, the overall context was the Roman nation empire fighting against the Jewish nation in Judea, a war that was temporarily paused but decisively continued after the Roman internal strife. The sheer scale of the Roman civil wars occurring immediately before the final destruction of Jerusalem can powerfully be understood as part of the birth pangs. This period of intense widespread suffering and upheaval was a clear sign of the immense distress that was to precede the unparalleled desolation of Jerusalem and the temple. It was a turbulent climax of the present evil age, leading to that specific judgment. The fact that these catastrophic internal Roman wars occurred in 69 AD, leading directly into the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, places these events firmly within this generation that Jesus addressed, providing a historical fulfillment of his words that would have been immediately recognizable to his contemporaries. In summary, the year of the four emperors was a cataclysmic period for the Roman Empire, showcasing wars and rumors of wars and nation against nation on an unprecedented scale. Far from being a mere footnote, this internal Roman chaos played a significant role in the unfolding of events leading to the destruction of Jerusalem, both by delaying the final Roman assault, allowing internal Jewish strife to fester, and by setting the stage for a unified, ruthless Roman military response once Vespasian secured power, thus undeniably contributing to the beginning of birth pangs Jesus prophesied. Now, I'm going to end here. If you do have any questions, please comment down below. And if you will be so kind, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. I would be greatly honored. Thank you.